Why are the Kawasaki's exciting to ride? Why are the Kawasaki's loved like a part of the family? The beginning 2000 foot. Kawasaki builds a superbike that was too powerful for its time. One of the most feared, respected, and legendary superbikes ever built. A machine that's taken world championships, terrified inexperienced riders, and carved its name into superbike history with raw aggression, relentless performance, and constant evolution. One of the most feared and respected superbikes ever made. The Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R, a bike that began as a wild, raw, almost dangerous animal, and over 22 years evolved into a precision-engineered race weapon with aero wings and motor-grade electronics. This is the complete story of the ZX-10R. Every generation, every major update, every special edition, what mechanics say, what racers say, what YouTubers loved and hated. Every win, every disaster, and I'll give you the real pros and cons from an enthusiast's perspective. This is the ultimate ZX-10R documentary. Let's get into it. 2004, the liter bike war was exploding. Yamaha dropped the 01, Honda unleashed the Fireblade. And Kawasaki didn't just enter the fight, they came in swinging a sledgehammer. The 2000 for ZX-10R was built with one goal: be the fastest, lightest, most aggressive liter bike on the planet. And they succeeded. For its time, this thing was insane. The first model was tiny, shockingly tiny. Kawasaki designed the engine with a stacked gearbox layout to make it narrower and shorter, giving it the sharpest chassis of its era. And then they gave it 175 horsepower in a 170 kilo dry package. Reviewers called it a 600 on steroids, and riders called it terrifying. No traction control, no rider modes, no ABS, just raw superbike energy. Its development was influenced by changes in superbike racing rules. As four-cylinder bikes got a 1000cc cap, Kawasaki needed a competitive liter model. Tech breakdown to 1000 foot. 998cc inline-4, 76 55mm bore stroke. 175 horsepower at 11,700 revolutions per minute. 170 kilograms dry, titanium 4x1 exhaust. Pedal Rotor's first production bike to use them. Fully adjustable 43mm forks with DLC coating. Very short wheelbase and aggressive steering, minimalist LCD dash with lap timer. Colors: lime green, blue, ebony black. Riding position and handling. Because of the compact chassis, the riding position was quite aggressive, track-focused, not very touring-friendly. Plenty of praise in contemporary reviews. MCN noted its tiny dimensions and a very high power-to-weight ratio. Immediately after launch, it earned respect as a beast among superbikes, extremely powerful, compact, sharp handling. Kawasaki themselves highlighted its slim chassis and use of race-derived tech to keep weight low. Reviews at launch praised its sheer aggression and performance, but noted it could feel forgiving only in the right hands. Mechanics praised simplicity, loved titanium hardware, said it was easy to work on but easy to crash. Riders, fastest thing I ever rode, but unstable at high speed. According to Kawasaki's press sheet, the handling felt more like a 600cc bike, which was exactly what aggressive riders were craving. On forums, enthusiasts highlight that Gen 1 2000 foot. 2005 is raw, visceral, analog. 1. Ridiculous power to weight. 2. Handling so sharp it bordered on dangerous. And even mention frame issues early units due to the lightweight construction. Pros 2000 foot. Explosive power, razor-sharp turn-in. Wild, analog riding experience. Cons 2000 foot. Harsh ergonomics, no electronics to save you. Rear end could get nervous during hard braking. Not the most beginner-friendly liter bike. This first model had a reputation. Fast, terrifying, and unlike anything else. Mechanics told me the bike was extremely willing to lift the front wheel, even in higher gears. Riders loved the raw ride, but it demanded skill. The ZX-10R wasn't here to be friendly, it was here to dominate. The 2005 ZX-10R was essentially carryover with minor updates. No major technical overhaul, Kawasaki fine-tuned a few components. Likely small reliability tweaks or cosmetics, but power, chassis, and core architecture remained the same. Colors 2005, lime green, metallic spark black, metallic flat raw. 2006-2007, early refinement, the underseat era. In 2006, Kawasaki made more noticeable changes. Notably, they switched to twin underseat exhausts, a design trend of the time. It gave the bike a more aggressive look but added weight, roughly 5 kilograms more than before. The frame was also revised, new engine mounts, a rebalanced stiffness, and a relocated swing arm pivot. The rear tyre profile was raised from 190/50ths Z017 to 190/55ths to 17, improving grip and stability. Mechanically, the engine remained largely unchanged, power stayed in the same ballpark. A lot of riders and mechanics appreciated the improved stability and the fuller feeling at high revs. Some critics said the added weight dulled some of the nimble feel of the original. Key changes 2006, twin underseat exhausts plus 5 kilograms. Slightly longer forks, larger front axle. Revised frame stiffness. Stronger top-end power, sharper throttle response. Appearance, the body remained quite similar, with color scheme changes. Heat shields on the 2007 exhaust were black versus silver in 2006. Colors, 2006 lime green, ebony black, metallic raw titanium. 2007 lime green, ebony black, candy plasma blue passion red. Pros and cons. Pros, more settled chassis at high speed. Better rear grip with larger tyre, more aggressive sound and look with dual exhaust. Cons, higher weight reduces agility slightly. Complexity, cost of twin underseat exhaust, still limited electronics. 2008-2010, third generation, major redesign, angles and new personality. The 2008 ZX-10R was all new. It was a major overhaul, arguably the second true generation of the ZX-10R. Kawasaki completely redesigned the engine, chassis, and bodywork. The body got sharper, the underseat pipes went away, replaced by a single-side exhaust, and they raised the compression ratio. By 2009, they even refined the gearbox. A shift shaft was upgraded to smooth out shifting. In 2010, updates included a better steering damper lens, recessed headlights, and a more integrated fairing design. From riders' perspectives, this era felt more balanced, not as brutally aggressive as 2004-07, but still very capable and more predictable. What improved? Better throttle response, better mid-range. Slightly more predictable handling, 2009-2010. Smoother shifting, better steering damper. Cleaner aerodynamics, it still wasn't easy to ride. But it was becoming more intelligent. Let's see it all by detail. On the engine, they introduced secondary fuel injectors, oval throttle bodies, and reshaped intake ports. Compression ratio increased, and the engine was tuned for more high RPM power while maintaining tractability. According to Kawasaki, the crankshaft was lightened by approximately 2 pounds, improving rev response, while keeping the same inertial moment. The intake system was reworked, airbox was larger, ram air ducts were reshaped, and there was a more direct air path. On the exhaust side, they went back to a single, titanium silencer, mounted lower to improve the center of gravity. Transmission, gear ratios changed, first, fourth, and fifth were lowered, and the final drive was adjusted rear sprocket teeth count. Chassis-wise, the twin spar frame was re-optimized for stiffness, stamping shapes changed, the swing arm pivot was relocated, and the steering tube was moved about 10 mm forward. The rear suspension linkage was also relocated. The suspension got DLC-coated fork tubes again to reduce stiction, and the fork springs were repositioned to reduce oil frothing. Brakes. Radial mounted Tokiko 4-piston calipers grip 310mm petal rotors in the front up from 300mm. Ergonomically, the tank, seat, and tail were redesigned to give more contact with the rider, improving feedback. On the electronics side, Kawasaki introduced their KIMS, Kawasaki Ignition Management System. It monitors engine speed, throttle position, gear, and more, and if it detects a sudden RPM spike, it retards ignition to modulate torque. So, in 2008, Kawasaki leaned heavily into racetrack-derived performance, but still kept it street legal. Pros and cons 2008 to 2009. Pros: much stronger high RPM performance. Lighter crank equals better throttle response. Lower CFG, better mass centralization. Improved brakes, chassis stiffness, and suspension feel, more control via KIMS system. Cons: slightly more complex maintenance dual injector system. Still no full traction control, just ignition based. Some riders felt mid-range torque was sacrificed for top-end gains. Colors 2008: lime green, candy plasma blue, ebony black, green, black, black. In some markets and certain regions. Ebony black, white, special Monster Energy Edition. Orange, black and blue black were offered. Colors 2009: lime green black, white pearl, Monster Energy Edition. Colors 2010: lime green, metallic spark black, pearl white. 2008: completely new look, angles everywhere. Kawasaki took feedback and built something sharper, lighter, and more balanced. 2009 updates: improved shifting, better shift shaft. Refinements to engine mapping, intake, and exhaust cams redesigned. Lighter intake valves, titanium to reduce mass. Lubrication improvements in cylinder head. Oil channels were revised for better cam stability, bottom end changes. Lightened crankshaft, gear ratios revised. Shifting mechanism upgraded to handle abuse. Transmission, shift, 2009. Small update, shift shaft upgraded for smoother shifting, year 2010. Further upgrades: revised Öhlins steering damper, recessed headlights in fairing, and bodywork centerpieces merged into a single molding. Weight, dry weight went up, compared to first gen. Around 179 kilograms for the years, 2008 to 2010. 2010, minor refresh. In 2010, the ZX-10R got more subtle updates. According to historical specs, the fairings and headlights were slightly restyled. The core remained similar to the 2008-9 model, same engine architecture and chassis, but these tweaks made the bike feel more refined and stable, especially at speed and under hard braking. Performance: power increased, 188 horsepower with ram air approximately 200 horsepower. Torque around 113 Nm, riding reception. The new intake mapping and combustion chamber were designed to improve torque tractability. Some earlier riders appreciated regained mid-range punch and better usability, though the weight rise divided opinion. Third generation fixed the chaos of Gen 1 and the weight of Gen 2. It became fast and manageable. Most riders say this is the first ZX-10R that's friendly at the limit, and I agree. But what new will come for the next generation? Fourth generation. Electronics era begins, major overhaul. Year 2011 marks a big generation jump. This is when the ZX-10R became modern. Major changes 2011. Traction control SKTRC, introduced by Kawasaki as standard. ABS option, Kawasaki Intelligent Braking System KIBS, became available. Frame and suspension, new horizontal rear suspension. Rear shock repositioned, 3-spoke lighter wheels. Front fork, Showa big piston fork BPF for better damping. Dashboard, full LCD panel replaces the simpler dash, adjustable foot pegs, more rider ergonomics flexibility. All new chassis, updated inline-4 engine. Power modes, much better stability. It was a big mechanical and visual overhaul. The frame was redesigned, the suspension got serious upgrades, and, most importantly, electronics entered. The new standard, Sport Kawasaki Traction Control SKTRC, means predictive traction control. It anticipates loss of grip and adapts power delivery. The geometry was tweaked, and the chassis rebalanced for better circuit performance. The engine was tuned to be more usable mid-corner and out of turn, giving better manageability. On top of that, power modes, riding modes, were added. Riders could tailor the character of the bike, for example, more aggressive versus more tame. The clutch was improved to a slipper type. For many experienced riders, this generation felt like the ZX-10R truly matured. It could be a raw race bike or a controllable street beast, depending on how you set it up. Colors 2011. Lime green, pearl stardust white. Flat ebony colors 2012 to 2014. Changes mostly cosmetic, yearly lime greens plus alternate blacks, whites. Colors 2013. Lime green, ebony, pearl white. Colors 2015, lime green. 30th anniversary special graphic, ebony black. 2013 update. In 2013, Kawasaki added Hlin's electronic steering damper as an option, Superbike World. Tom Sykes won Kawasaki's first WSBK title on the ZX-10R in 2013. Jonathan Rea then built on that, winning further championships later, 2015, etc. Power spec power ~199.8 bhp. Torque approximately 114.3 Nm. Dry weight approximately 198 kilograms. This generation moved more toward electronics plus race-derived usability rather than raw power to weight only. It brought Kawasaki's MotoGP racing research to the street. The traction control was years ahead of most competitors. The 2011 to 2015 models were fast, stable, and way more usable than earlier generations. Pros, cons 2011 to 2015. Pros: modernized with traction control and ABS, better for track and street, more usable, safer, race-bred. Traction control equals more safety and versatility. Power modes make it adaptable to street, track. Better frame and damping for both aggressive and smooth riding. Cons: heavier, more complex to maintain, less of the bare metal feel, potential for electronic component issues. Increased electronic complexity, more sensors to maintain, potentially fail. Slightly heavier than earlier generations. Some purists may miss the raw simplicity of pre-2011 models, special editions around this era. No major homologation R or SC editions yet. The focus was more on bringing electronics to the mainstream model. 5th generation, 2016 to 2020. Major revision, WorldSBK era. Year 2016 changed everything again. It is probably one of the most celebrated ZX-10R overhauls. Kawasaki didn't just refresh, they re-engineered. This model is the foundation of nearly every ZX-10R up to 2025. The engine was redesigned, lighter crankshaft, thicker cylinder walls, shorter piston skirts, a 25% larger airbox, and larger exhaust valves. Also, they redesigned the gearbox, a cassette-style transmission for race-style gear changes. What does that mean in real riding? It means quicker revving, stronger top end, but still a usable mid-range. The power delivery felt more linear, and you could even pull from approximately 4,000 revolutions per minute without being bogged down. The transmission was also re-geared for a more track-friendly setup, and Kawasaki added a quick shifter KQS as standard. The chassis got a 12mm longer wheelbase, which improved stability especially at speed. Chassis race kit parts offered by Kawasaki for track use. For suspension, Kawasaki brought in World Superbike derived tech. The show wore balance-free front fork BFF and ABFRC light, balance-free rear cushion, rear shock. The electronics suite was greatly enhanced. They brought in a Bosch 5-axis IMU, enabling advanced rider aids, cornering traction control, engine brake control, launch control, and more. The 2016 model had SK-TRC, but also launch control, KLCM and engine brake control KEBC. Brakes replaced pedal rotors used since 2000 with round 330mm discs, plus Brembo M50 monoblock calipers and braided lines. Its race-derived hardware meant for serious track use. Performance and feedback, horsepower. 197 horsepower, 147 kilowatts at 13,000 revolutions per minute. Up to approximately 207 to 210 horsepower with ram air. Torque, 113 Newton meters, 83 pounds ft at 11,500 revolutions per minute. Riders noticed much more linear throttle, improved mid-range, not just a top-end screamer. They praised how the IMU enabled more predictable traction control and helped with corner exit. Track day riders loved the race kit support and performance tweaks. Criticism: some felt that despite the electronics, the bike became heavier or more engineered, losing a little of its feral character. Race kit parts are expensive, SC-R editions cost a lot more and may not justify price for street-only use. More complex maintenance due to new suspension and electronics. ZX-10R 2016 to 2020, standard and special colors. 2016, metallic matte carbon grey. Lime green, ebony KRT edition, signature Kawasaki team green, 2017. Pearl blizzard white, metallic flat raw titanium, a new color option introduced for 2017, lime green, ebony KRT. 2018, metallic matte fusion silver, metallic flat spark black. Special, Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R SE, in metallic flat spark black, metallic matte graphite grey. Lime green, ebony, metallic graphite grey KRT edition. 2019, standard, pearl storm grey, metallic flat spark black. Special race inspired, Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R KRT edition, lime green, ebony, metallic graphite grey. 2019, standard, pearl storm grey, metallic flat spark black. Special race inspired, Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R KRT edition, lime green, ebony, metallic graphite grey. 2020, standard, base, metallic spark black, metallic flat spark black. KRT edition, lime green, ebony race inspired. Special editions, SC, KRT, RR replica. KRT replica, KRT edition, across these years is typically lime green, ebony, metallic graphite grey. For 2017, the normal plus KRT paint options, lunar, white as new standard, plus KRT green, black remains. The SC variant shares the same paint, graphics of KRT or standard. Regarding RR and KRT editions, remain the standard lime green, ebony, metallic graphite grey package. What is the KRT edition? KRT, Kawasaki Racing Team Edition. It is not a mechanical edition like the RR or SE. It is only a graphics livery package styled after the official world's race bikes. What makes the KRT edition different? Just cosmetics. Lime green, ebony, graphite race replica paint, KRT logos and striping. Same engine, suspension, electronics as the standard ZX-10R. No forged wheels, no electronic suspension, no special cams, etc. It is not a performance edition. Pros and cons 2016. Pros. Huge performance leap engine plus electronics. Much more stable and reliable under aggressive riding. Quick shifter adds real usability for track. Launch control is a big plus for aggressive starts. Cons, more complex, more to go wrong. Slight weight penalty for added tech, costlier maintenance for race components. Bikers loved this generation, many said. Riding a 2016 Plus, ZX-10R feels surgical, extremely precise, predictable, and powerful. The electronics make it much safer to exploit its potential. These features made the bike far more track-capable. From riders' perspective, this felt like a true track monster, but it retained enough street manners to be usable off the circuit. Some owners noticed something called the famous Kawasaki tick, cam chain noise under certain conditions. Special, limited editions are I and SE, but Kawasaki didn't stop at the base model. In 2017, they did what racers love, they dropped the ZX-10R. It was a homologation machine, race-ready by default. It had Pankel lightweight connecting rods and pistons, a reinforced crankcase, DLC-coated valve train, and 7-spoke Marchesini forged wheels. ZX-10R 2017 changes include a revised cylinder head for high-lift cams, titanium connecting rods, and a bidirectional quickshifter. YouTubers who test drove RR models often praised the instant throttle response and minimal flex, but they also called it merciless. It's not the bike to casually cruise, it's a weapon for the track. Mechanics praised it as the most purebred WSBK style ZX-10R you could buy. But of course, that came at a premium: price, maintenance, and a more aggressive character. Special Edition SC years 2018 to 2020. In 2018, Kawasaki introduced the ZX-10R SE. The SE variant was all about tech, less about outright peak power and more about refined performance via advanced suspension. Asterisk, key features: KEX semi-active electronic suspension, Marchesini wheels, improved quickshifter, premium street, track hybrid, premium components everywhere. Kawasaki electronic control suspension KEX. Its electronically adjustable Showa BFF fork and BFRC rear shock with 3 modes: road, track, and manual. In manual, you can turn rebound and compression damping 15 steps each directly via the instrument panel. The quick shifter KQS is improved, too, with clutchless shifting and even auto-blip downshifting offered. The SC is for racers who want track handling without sacrificing comfort. For many experienced, the SC struck an ideal balance: race-level suspension adjustability, but without the extreme race-only parts of the RR. Stability on the highway and stiffness on track dynamically. Riders loved how adaptable it was. You can use it daily, but it's track-ready the moment you push it. Pros and Cons 2018 SE Pros. Extremely adjustable suspension, perfect for street or track. Excellent handling thanks to lightweight wheels. Great for riders who want performance and comfort usability. Cons: very expensive special edition. SE specific parts mean higher service costs. Not as extreme as the RR, less radical cam, head upgrades. Conclusion: 2016 was a game changer. It wasn't just an update, this was the bike that dominated World Superbike. And when I say dominated, I mean the competition had to redesign their bikes. The first ZX-10R that feels like a scalpel at 200 km/h. It's serious, it's precise, it wants you to be good. After came the ZX-10R homologation weapon and the ZX-10R SE. 2016 to 2020 is arguably the strongest era of the ZX-10R, fast enough for pros, predictable enough for civilians, and nearly bulletproof reliability. Question was, if could Kawasaki better improve that rocket? Let's see. 6th generation, years 2021 to 2025. Modern aero, modern electronics, same attitude. In 2021, Kawasaki made a very smart move, refining the ZX-10R again, but keeping the same core personality: stable, predictable, fast. The new model got integrated winglets, a redesigned geometry for stability, a 4.3 TFT dash, ride-by-wire throttle, revised gear ratios, and even cruise control. The result: a smarter, more refined superbike that still felt like a rocket. Major changes: 2021. New winglet integrated front fairing. New gearing, shorter for better drive. Revised frame stiffness, minus 17% more downforce. Revised swing arm pivot position, minus 4.3-inch TFT display. Bluetooth radiology app, updated electronics tuning. Updated seat plus rider triangle. Smoother quick-shifted air-cooled oil cooler. Euro 5 engine compliance. So, let's talk about those upgrades. Chassis and geometry. Swing arm pivot lowered by 1 mm. Fork offset changed plus 2 mm. Swing arm length increased by 8 mm. These changes increase stability and adjust handling dynamics. Wheelbase becomes slightly longer, approximately 1,450 mm for better rear wheel traction. Engine, transmission, gear ratios in first third are revised lower, and final drive sprocket is changed 17/41. Inlet ports and throttle valves redesigned. Exhaust, collector arrangement also changed to meet Euro 5 emissions. New independent air-cooled oil cooler instead of routing via coolant to improve thermal management as per KRT feedback. Electronics and rider aids. The 0.3 all-digital TFT color display introduced first time for the 10R. 2-direction KQS quickshifter now for upshifts, cruise control added. A top-shelf electronics package, including KCMF cornering ABS, SKTRC, KLC and launch control, KIBS, engine brake control, etc. 2021 ZX-10R homologation, track-oriented model. The 2021 R gets significantly revised engine internals, new camshafts, new intake plus exhaust valve springs, lighter pistons from Pankel, lighter titanium connecting rods, DLC-coded piston pins. That reduces reciprocating mass and allows higher revving, better throttle response. The airbox intake funnels have been changed. The previous uneven height funnels, 103/030 to 10 mm, are replaced by short 5 mm funnels on all 4 cylinders, aiming to shift power higher up the rev range. Because of those engine changes, the redline rev limit is raised from previous approximately 14,300 revolutions per minute to 14,700 revolutions per minute, giving a broader power band and more headroom for track race riding. The RI gets Marchesini forged wheels and usually comes with high-performance tyres. For 2021, Pirelli Diablo Supercorsa SP, more track-ready than standard cast wheels. Also race-oriented chassis, suspension tuning plus the same aero, ergonomic electronics upgrades as the base ZX-10R, but tailored for maximum track performance. Finally, the RR remains limited in production 500 units worldwide for 2021. 2021 ZX-10R KRT Edition. The KRT Edition in 2021 benefits from the new aero body, TFT dash, cruise control, all-LED lighting, updated electronics package, ride modes, IMU-based controls, etc., and the revised ergonomics and suspension chassis. As with the regular ZX-10R, it gets the new air-cooled oil cooler, new exhaust intake setup, revised final drive and gear ratios, etc. Why? There is no SE edition for 2021. According to the official announcement, the manufacturer did not reveal a replacement for the 2020 ZX-10R SE, which used Showa's electronically controlled suspension. The SE seems to have been dropped, likely because the 2021 updates, aero, chassis, electronics, etc., were focused on either standard sport or track performance, leaving less purpose for a middle ground SE. Many press sources note that the SE is absent from 2021's model list. Colors 2021: Lime Green KRT, Metallic Diablo Black, Pearl Arctic White. Colors 2022. 2025 Yearly KRT Editions: Ebony, Metallic Spark Black, Lime Green variations. Occasional limited market colors blue, grey. Pros and cons 2021. Pros: modern electronics and rider aids. Better everyday usability, Y-Cruise modes. Emissions compliance without sacrificing too much performance. More stable, refined chassis cons. Some argue that feel is sacrificed for sophistication. Slightly more weight due to sensor packages and electronics. Higher maintenance cost for advanced systems. Feedback. According to MCN Motorcycle News, this generation felt more refined, more usable, especially for street track. YouTubers praised the real race bike feel with modern electronics, but still raw power. Track day riders liked the crisp throttle, improved geometry, and better high-speed stability. Motorcycle News praised the high-speed stability and how the new geometry didn't compromise agility. Riders said it felt more planted during hard braking and faster through long corners. Criticism. Some purists argue that the bike is becoming too controlled by electronics, losing some raw edge. The styling is divisive, while functional. Not everyone loves the 2021 Aero design. The TFT is great, but some long-time ZX-10R fans miss the old-school analog simplicity. From 2022 through 2025, Kawasaki largely carried forward the 2021 generation platform. There weren't massive changes, but rather refinements, continued improvements to electronics, paint schemes, small ergonomic tweaks, and performance stability. People call these years the sweet spot, experienced enough to be fast, but not so exotic as to be fragile or impractical. It was the perfect blend of race performance and real-world usability. This generation feels like Kawasaki preparing for something bigger. And that something arrives in 2026. 7th generation, 2026. The new face of the ZX-10R, Aero Revolution. And finally, the 2026 ZX-10R. Let me put it simply. This is the first time in years Kawasaki has done a real redesign. And it shows the most aero-focused version ever built. In 2025, Kawasaki revealed the 2026 Ninja ZX-10R at ICMA, and it marked one of the most significant design updates in over 2 decades. The most striking change: large, integrated winglets on the fairing. These aren't just for show, they are engineered to generate 25% more downforce. This downforce helps stabilize the front end, especially during high-speed corner entry, and contributes to improved chassis feel under heavy lean. But that winglet performance came with design trade-offs. Engineers carefully balanced lift and drag, accepting a slight increase in frontal drag, just 0.3%, to achieve their aerodynamic goals. The ram air intake has been repositioned, and the front fairing features compact projector, reflector hybrid headlights. Now, bike has a new face, tighter and more aggressive. Engine, 998cc inline for remains, but with revised intake port shaping and updated combustion mapping to smooth throttle response and strengthen the mid-range. Kawasaki reports the 2026 engine produces approximately 193.3 horsepower at 13,000 revolutions per minute and 112 Nm of torque at 11,400 revolutions per minute. Emissions, now compliant with Euro 5+, thanks to, among other things, a second O sensor. Chassis geometry, tuned to match the effect of the winglets, aiming for better rear traction and more secondary cornering force, i.e., better feel in direction change. The swing arm pivot has been raised by 2 mm, enhancing rear traction and harmonizing with the winglet downforce. ZX-10R 2026 race homologation version also gets winglets and retains Pankel titanium connecting rods, pistons, braided brake hoses, clean steering damper included. Suspension, Showa BFF front and BFRC light rear, both circuit optimized for high performance use, but with retuned damping to match the aerodynamic upgrades. Notably, clean steering damper, previously reserved for the RR, is now standard on the base 10R, emphasizing high speed stability. Brakes, braking remains formidable, dual Brembo M50 monoblock calipers, Gripping upgraded discs 330mm plus radial master cylinder. Cockpit instrumentation, 5 all-digital TFT with Radiology app integration, smartphone, voice command, turn-by-turn navigation. Rider aids, KCMF cornering management, SKTRC, KLCM launch control, KIBS, engine brake control, power modes, quick shifter. Engine, 998cc inline for still the same base architecture. New emissions system, second-O sensor, revised air intake positioning. Smoother mid-range, better cooling. More efficient combustion, clean Euro 5 compliance. The power feels the same at first, but it's cleaner and more predictable. Kawasaki didn't chase numbers, they chased control. Chassis and suspension, Showa balance free fork retuned. Showa BFRC rear shock retuned. Revised steering geometry, stronger braking feel. Much better weight transfer under acceleration. Tires, Kawasaki has switched to Bridgestone Batlax RS12 tires as standard, optimized for grip, stability, and durability in this bike's new aerodynamic package. This is the most confidence-inspiring front end I've ever felt on a ZX-10R. Electronics, turn-by-turn nave. KTRC traction, KCMF cornering management. KIBS braking, KLCM launch control. Quick shifter cruise control. For a bike that built its reputation on being raw, Kawasaki finally gave it tech that feels, well, complete. 2026 ZX-10R homologation model, R upgrades, Pankel connecting rods. Lightweight pistons, lightweight crank. Braided brake lines. Revised Glynn steering damper track sharp mapping. Collars 2026. R, flat ebony winter test R, lime green, blue 24. R, matte graphene steel grey, spark black, lime green. Riding experience, riding the bike, feels like riding a surgical instrument. The front end feedback is excellent, the throttle is crisp, the electronics intervene cleanly, and the bike finally feels stable and flickable. It's more planted, more confident at high speeds, and more corner committed because of the aerodynamic enhancements. The electronics and update to the damper make it more predictable yet still very aggressive. First impressions, the winglets may look aggressive, but at speed, they work. On the straights they hold the front planted, and mid-corner you feel more connected. Throttle and power delivery, the reshaped intake and mapping makes throttle more predictable. When you roll on mid-corner exit, there's more linear torque than some earlier models, which gives a stable, confident push. Braking stability, Brembos are strong, but with the winglets and revised geometry, you feel less dive and more composure. Electronics and usability, the 5 inches TFT is crisp, and the Radiology app plus voice command are more than gimmicks, they add real usability for street riders. Turn-by-turn nave is a welcome addition. Trade-offs, on slow roads or tight corners, the winglets' benefit is minimal. They don't behave like downforce at 20 miles per hour, so it's more of a high-speed game. Also, more electronics equals more to maintain, be ready for that if you're a dire or track day warrior. Who should buy it? If you're a track day rider, this could be one of the best leader bikes you can get for 2026, high performance, real aero, sophisticated suspension. Street rider, weekend warrior. The usability upgrades make the ZX-10R more accessible than ever, but the price and maintenance are not trivial. Collector, long-time fan, you might still love older gens Gen 1 to 3 for their rawness. The 2026 is more refined, more engineered, less raw but unbelievably capable. Analysis, pros and cons, pros overall. Best stability of any ZX-10R. Honest, predictable power, brutally good front-end feel. Excellent electronics balance, bulletproof engine lineage. Real aerodynamic benefit, killer track potential. Evolution of electronics, now with IMU, advanced traction control, launch control, ABS, cruise control. Track capable, especially with the RR race kit versions, very close to actual race bikes. Chassis balance, improved through generations, balancing agility and stability very well. Brand and racing heritage, ZX-10R has been a staple in WSBK, which builds trust in engineering. Cons: risks, still hot in traffic, still aggressive on wrists, needs a confident rider. Not the friendliest street superbike. Still not the most powerful versus BMW Ducati. Complexity. With more electronics and adjustable suspension, maintenance becomes more demanding time. Cost. High-end, limited models R, SC are expensive, race kit parts are pricey. Aesthetic divisiveness. Especially 2026 winglets, not everyone will like the look. Weight gain. Through generations, some weight has come back due to added systems, though Kawasaki mitigated it well. Potential drag damage risk. Big winglets may be more vulnerable. Plus their real-world benefit on the street might be limited. Comparative analysis, year to year, what changed and why it matters. 2000 forgives 2008. Transition from raw, mechanical leader bike to a more refined, higher output, race-inspired machine. 2008 gives 2011. Introduction of real electronics, traction control, power modes, shift in philosophy. Not just power, but smart power. 2011 gives 2016. Performance leap, better chassis, better suspension, serious WSBK tech. This is where ZX-10R became a world-class superbike. 2016 gives 2018. Diversification. Base model plus or a plus SE. Riders can choose based on focus, race versus track, day versus street. 2018 gives 2021. Electronics maturity plus emissions compliance. 2021 gives 2026. Modernization. Aerodynamic swinglets. Connectivity TFT plus app. Refined dynamics. What makes the ZX-10R legend is not just its power, it's its evolution. From the lightweight, titanium exhaust-equipped 2000 for model, through the under-seat experiments and major redesigns, to the high-tech, winglet-equipped 2026 version, Kawasaki has never stopped innovating. Over the years, the ZX-10R has carried Kawasaki to 7 World Superbike Championships, proving that this is not just a street machine, it's a racer's platform. Its influence extends beyond racetracks. The 2026 update, especially, underscores a broader shift in superbike design. Aerodynamics are no longer optional, they are central. And rider aids, once reserved for race bikes, are now embedded in street-legal machines. The Ninja ZX-10R is not just a superbike, it's a living legacy. From its raw, uncompromising origins to its aerodynamic, digitally enhanced future, it represents everything Kawasaki stands for. Performance, innovation, and passion. As you reflect on this journey, ask yourself, which year model speaks to you? The analog, fearless beast of 2004? The refined, tech-laden beast of today? Or perhaps a track-focused RR? Whatever your pick, one thing is clear, the ZX-10R will continue to push boundaries. Because for Kawasaki, pushing the limit isn't a slogan, it's a promise. So after going through the full history, from the raw 2000 for fire breather all the way to the aero-sculpted 2026 version, here's my verdict. The Ninja ZX-10R has stayed true to its DNA. It's always been a sharp, focused, rider's machine. It wants commitment. And in return, it gives you precision, stability, and insane confidence on the track. If you're the type of rider who appreciates engineering over hype, you will love the ZX-10R story. And the 2026 model. It's not just a facelift, it's a message. The superbike war isn't over. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe for more high-detail motorcycle breakdowns, and drop your thoughts on the new 2026 winglets below. See you in the next ride.